Look, y'all, I know people been putting the beats on us the first few weeks of the season, but Cowboys fans still have something to look forward to as the defense just got completely revamped. It's getting a facelift, and more guys are coming back that we haven't even discussed. We know that Demo and Revel on the way back, but apparently we got even more reinforcements. Also, Brian Schottenheimer took the bye week and decided it's time to have an open competition for one of the starting positions on offense. Let's get right into it, as I'm sure part of this news at least is going to make some of y'all super excited. And be sure to subscribe for more Dallas Cowboys content on the regular.
Man, shut your up.
All right, the first thing we'll start off right here is head coach Brian Schottenheimer on newly activated cornerback Savone Revel. We're going to kind of update ourselves on guys that we know are coming back already. He said, quote, he's going to play. So now we know for sure Revel will be playing against the Raiders. We want him to play, and I think he'll play well. The rookie third-round pick was activated from IR this week, and Brian Schottenheimer sounds like he has some confidence in whatever Revel has been showing them in practice. Now, remember, we have to temper our expectations because we were hearing a lot of good stuff about Kyer Elam during the offseason as well. Now, whether that was window dressing, I don't know. Maybe they'll change the way they deliver it next time when they're trying to compliment a guy just working hard in practice, right? But Savone Revel coming back is undoubtedly going to hurt a very, very beat-up defensive back room. Now, I will say this particular matchup against the Raiders is a good game to kind of work guys back into. Not just because it's the Raiders, but because of specifically kind of where the Raiders themselves are struggling. They have issues at receiver, okay? The Raiders do not have a lot of wide receivers on their team right now, not at least a lot of highly touted wide receivers on their team right now. Thus, the defensive back issues that you have are kind of balanced out a little bit. You're not going in at so much of a disadvantage like you have been in some of these other matchups where you're looking at yourself using guys that were cut in preseason or practice squad guys versus team starting caliber guys on the other side. And it's like, all right, it is about to be a long game. So at least both rooms, I ain't gonna say trash, but both rooms have tons of room for improvement. I'm gonna just say it like that, right? But Savone Revel coming back, super excited to see what the rookie's gonna bring. I think that this rookie draft class has pretty much lived up to the expectations that I had once I kind of seen how it all came together. I have that video pinned at the front of my channel. I thought that this was probably one of the better draft classes that they've had in a long time. And I think that if you look across the board, maybe outside of Jaden Blue, maybe not performing the way people would have hoped he performed to this point, I think the fumble really, really hurt him, and he kind of put him in the doghouse a little bit because they elevated Malik Davis. So they trying to let Jaden Blue cook a little bit longer, and they taking the ball security thing serious. But besides Jaden Blue, I think Tyler Booker has had a really good year. I think Donovan Ezaraku has had a really good year. So you nailed your first two picks, in my opinion. You nailed your first two picks. And then you get to, you got guys like Jaden Blue and Jay Toia, a seventh-round rookie contributing in any way. That's a W. So that was a good draft pick as well. Shamar James, I think, is contributing way more than I think people may have thought he was going to contribute. And he may be contributing to the level that people may have thought that Jaden Blue was going to contribute on the offensive side. Shamar James and Jaden Blue, I think their roles kind of flipped from what people thought they were going to be coming into the season. But Shamar James was a good draft pick. He has a lot of promise on him. Phil Maffa is going to end up being a pretty damn good draft pick. I think he's a good stash away running back. So they did a pretty damn decent job with this draft class. And you're going to see what your third round pick has in Savone Revel. Savone Revel comes out and hit, and I think you got to say that this was probably like a B-plus type of draft class right here. Maybe even a draft class with Ezaraku and Booker looking like they have the potential to be Pro Bowl, maybe even one-day All-Pro type players, right? But because Ezaraku is like literally leading his class in pressures and all that stuff. He's doing better than Abdul Carter. So that should let you know all you need to know. He's literally doing better than Abdul Carter across damn near all metrics. So that should let you know all you need to know about how Donovan Ezaraku was a hit, right? So interested to see that. Let's get to the next piece of information right here. I think this one right here is pretty exciting. Brian Schottenheimer noted there will be an open competition at right tackle. Ladies and gentlemen, I think a lot of people have been waiting to hear those words, and I think a lot of people have been waiting for the Cowboys to finally cut the umbilical cord with Terence Steele. Terence Steele kind of lucked his way into a position as it was based off of injury, and then Lyle Collins really not getting a chance to get that spot back. But he's always had issues in pass protection. And when your team is crafted around the quarterback, you can't have a guy out there whose biggest issue is protecting the quarterback. And that's just what it comes down to. And when you have a team who's having defensive struggles, which means your offense is going to be forced to have to drop back a lot more than maybe they would want to in a normal occasion, you can't have a guy out there that's struggling in pass coverage or pass protection, I mean. So at that point, I love the fact that the Cowboys and the head coach were able to come out and be like, hey, man, I know this guy's been an entrenched starter for the last few seasons. He's been an entrenched starter. It's time to move on. It's time to open up that window. It's time to open up that door and allow somebody else to take that position, whether it's a Nate Thomas or whether it's somebody else that's on that roster. I would definitely look at a Nate Thomas, a Johnny Cornelius, the rookie. They could decide to go younger there if they like, hey, their production is similar enough to where we're like, screw it. Let's go with our young rookie, our 6th-round pick. I think of Johnny was picked in from Oregon, right? So a Johnny Cornelius is somebody they could decide to try to throw out there and see what they can get out of him if Terence Steele isn't giving them what they need, because his side of the line has been a source of a lot of issues, especially in pass protection, y'all. He's decent. He's good as a run blocker. He's not elite enough as a run blocker to make us forget about all the issues he has as a pass protector. Absolutely love this. Absolutely excited to see who's going to step up again. The 2 names I would look out for, Nate Thomas, Johnny Cornelius. Those would be 2 of the first names I would think about if I were the Dallas Cowboys. I think some of the veterans that they brought in to maybe compete for that role at some point. I think Sadiq Charles and who was it? Akeem Adeniji. Them boys, they got injured. So, you know, that's kind of a tough break right there. But look for the young guys to get a chance right here, especially Nate Thomas. I think Nate Thomas is probably going to get first crack at that. Next up, we have some reinforcements coming that we may not even have realized were on the way, y'all. Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson were both back at practice. And in a week where you're going to have to line up against Brock Bowers, who is undoubtedly the Raiders' biggest target out there on the field in the passing game, you're going to need your safeties. You're going to need your safeties to play well. You're going to need your safeties to be able to cover. And whether or not Donovan Wilson coming back in this game or Malik Hooker coming back in this game, we don't know for sure if they're going to be coming back in this game. But Patrick Walker did report Hooker's 21-day window opens now. But front office indicated he has a chance to play versus the Raiders. Malik Hooker isn't necessarily the guy that has a huge issue with coverage. So him coming out there, getting one of your starters back out there is absolutely going to help. Whether or not we feel like we can upgrade the safety room, I think that it's safe to say that we haven't seen anybody at the safety position that's playing well enough. Wanye did fill in pretty damn well, by the way. But we haven't seen anybody playing well enough and is available that those guys don't deserve to just get their jobs back as soon as they come back, quite frankly. Reddy Stewart, you're going to continue to have him out there until you get a little bit more solidified in that corner room. I think you're going to still have him out there as your nickel or playing one of those corner roles. I don't think that you play him at safety just because he played decently. I don't think you play him at safety when you have your starting guys that you're paying starting money to coming back. And I think that's just what it's going to be. And we just have to hope that maybe those guys having a chance to kind of sit back, look at what the defense is doing, watch what's happening to the defense. Maybe them having a chance to sit back and watch this thing, maybe that's going to help them in their field for what needs to happen on the field when they're out there, right? So Malik Hooker, Donovan Wilson, more reinforcements on the way. Malik Hooker specifically brought up as somebody that may be able to play in this week's upcoming game. That is good news for the Dallas Cowboys, whatever way we slice it. And we have corner help seemingly on the way as well. Josh Butler, our corner that had a few good games, man. He had a few really good games for the Cowboys last season before, I believe, tearing his ACL. He posted this yesterday. He just posted a salute emoji with him suited up in his gear 31, and then it had a finger wave and I don't know, not so fast type of thing. So maybe Josh Butler is on the way as well, and they're about to open up his practice window. So the Cowboys are starting to get healthy. This defense is revamped. I mean, I don't remember a time where you could see a team literally change out over half of their defensive starters over the course of a 1 or 2 week period. And that's what could be happening for the Cowboys. So we have a lot of excitement there just to see what this thing gonna look like, y'all, because hopefully we don't be catching the beats again. If we start catching the beats with all these guys, at that point it's time to look at the damn coach. All right, coach, You got a whole new group of guys out there, and they're catching the same beats. So maybe you are the genesis of the beats. That's what you have to come down to, y'all. But either way, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Let me know down in the comments below what bit of news excited you the most about your Dallas Cowboys. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Be sure to subscribe, leave a like on the video, hype the video if you have any left.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still the boy? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Hey! I'm still them boys.